You have to take your faith seriously, especially God's holiness is a big deal. We see this all throughout the book of Leviticus, this idea that if you want God to come near, you need to do certain things. And prior to Leviticus 10, what we see is God doing certain things in order for God's presence to be there. And we see Aaron doing and listening. We see Moses doing certain things. And Leviticus 10, we have this really sad but very obvious thing that happens when you dig deeper and you study it, where Aaron's sons are supposed to do certain things. And in chapter 10, they don't listen. They kind of do things out of order. And we actually read later in the chapter that they were drunk, most likely. They were actually showing up to perform certain sacrifices for God to come near, and they're drunk and they're messing around. And actually says in Leviticus 10 that the fire consumes them and kills them. And it's this really tragic story, but it shows that sin is a big deal. And when you are practicing to kind of have God come near and you're doing certain things, you need to take it serious. And this shows how serious God's presence is. The commentary that I was reading was talking about this idea that, God's presence is like a nuclear reactor. The closer you get to the core, the more serious you have to be about your protection, and you have to be following certain protocols. The farther away you are, the more you don't have to do certain things. And so the idea is that God's holiness is a big deal. And the closer you get to it, the more the consequences are. Obviously, we know this on this side of the story of this is why Jesus had to come and die for us. But we see here that they are learning these things. And this story, one of the big things that really stood out to me is this idea that, especially in the area of innovation, using new technology, there's a lot of opportunity and ways to redeem and receive new technology and innovation. But ultimately, we have to remember that a lot of this comes down to the heart. How you use certain things and things you should ignore or you should move away from. It comes down to taking it seriously and not getting distracted and doing something unholy. The internet is an amazing thing, but also the internet can be a scary thing. And so as followers of Jesus, especially leaders, we need to be serious about God's holiness, or this story of Aaron's sons being consumed from the fire could be our story next.